Hello everyone, this is Damien with Beginners Excel. You guys probably know me from all of my many other Beginners series. Today we're going to be talking a quick little bit about Microsoft Excel. As you can see, this is a nice clean workbook that I've just opened up. And I'm going to kind of tell you guys a little bit about what you're looking at here. Up at the top, we have this little kind of menu thing here called the ribbon. The ribbon kind of replaces the existing menu bar that existed in I want to say Excel 2003. I think they replaced it in 2007. Uh, I'm currently using Excel 2010. Other people might have 2013 or 2007. This tutorial will be using 2010 exclusively, but the others aren't so different that you can't at least kind of figure out what I'm doing. That being said, I want to walk you guys through kind of the names of each things. Uh, the ribbon is broken up into groups. As you can see, there's little kind of vertical rulings here that divide it up. Each group is named a different thing. So we have the clipboard group, the font group, the alignment group, number group, styles group, cells group, and editing group in the home tab. There's multiple tabs here that each have their own groups. They're laid out, in all kinds of different ways. We're going to be getting more into those groups later. For now, just know that they're there. We have this name box right here. The name box is a pretty important thing that we're going to run into pretty often. We also have the function box, which is right here, or the formula bar. I'm sorry, I call it the function box because it holds all my functions. But we have a workspace down here. This is typically known as the workbook. And this contains a large number of cells. Now, if you're wondering how far over you can go in either direction, you can go 256 columns to the right, which is, I believe, all the way out to... Geez, I forget. And I know that you can go 65,536 rows down, I think it is. It's something like that. But as you can see, it goes over and down quite a long way. Um, so, all right, we're uh, we're currently, when we're in the top left, in cell A1, as is displayed in our name box. If we go over, B1. So you can always figure out where you are by looking in the name box. Whenever we change where we are, we can look. We're in column L, we're in row 26, and the name box currently reflects that. To type in any cell, you can simply highlight it by left clicking on it, and you can type in a number, you can type in a word, you can type in a couple of words, you can type in a month, you can type in, you can type in anything you want. You can go crazy. So if I were to go and highlight the month that I'd typed in here, as you can see, I typed in January. There's a cool little feature in the newer versions of Excel. I'm not sure if it's in 2007. I know it's in 2010, 2013. It's called the fill handle. So as you can see, all I've done is I've typed in the word January. So if I select the box that it's in by left clicking on it, you'll see that there's a little kind of square in the bottom right that looks different from the rest of the box's outline. And if we move our mouse over it, it turns into this plus sign rather than this kind of big white plus sign. It turns into a darker black plus sign. And if I left click and just drag either down or to the right, it starts saying, other months as I drag over. So if I drag all the way over from January in column A all the way over to column L while keeping my mouse in that first row, it will fill in all the months from January to December. And so we can kind of see there that one month has too many letters to, or well, 2 months even have too many letters to fit in one box. So what I can do is I can come up to this column I that September is in, and I can just drag it over. And I'm going to drag it too much. I'm going to drag it so its width is 117 pixels, which is 16 whatever's wide. And I'm going to do the same with November. I'm going to make it too big. And so now we can kind of see that all of these are displaying months. And I'll do the same here. Why not? And so what I can do is I kind of look and I go, oh, that doesn't look right. Some of these are much bigger than others. I can highlight all of them, and I can come up in between like I did before and just get in between any two rows like H and I here and just double left click. And that will automatically resize H and I. And I can do the same with I and J. But the easier way to do it is to highlight all the columns. So if I come up here to the column A and drag all the way over and select all the columns, then I can just double click in between any of them and it will resize all of them down to the minimum amount of room it can have. So another quick example of things that you can do here. If we come up to row number 1, right click it and hit insert, we can get another row above. And similarly, if we can click column A and hit insert, we can get another column to the left. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to select D1 through L1, and I'm going to hit merge and center. I'm going to set a style by clicking up here on input. You can click any of these, it doesn't really matter. I'll click good instead and just type beginners Excel. I'll increase the font size up to 20. And there we go. As you can see, we just made a quick little heading. If I decide I wanted to maybe make that bigger and span more rows and columns, I can do that pretty easily. I will, however, go back. I don't really want to have it being big and boisterous. I just kind of want a little beginners Excel, and that should just about do it. Just merge and center those, and alright. Let's say we wanted to make a quick chart of how many days are in each month. Once again, we're going to be using the fill handle, so we're going to do 1, then 2, highlight both of these, and we're going to drag the fill handle down. So if you look at that outline, it tells us the number before we let go. I know that there's 31 days in January, so I'm going to let go of that. I'll do the same for February, and I'm going to copy down until I hit 28. And now what I'm going to do is something that you guys should probably know from Microsoft Word. I'm going to come up here to copy, or you can hit Control C, and you'll notice that there's an outline around all these that kind of looks like some ants marching around the photo, or the range that we selected, not the photo. And I'm just going to paste this in all these months. So I'll have 31 in all the months for a moment. And then I'll just kind of come through and I'll highlight a cell and I'll click delete, or I can hit backspace, and either one works. I prefer doing delete because if you hit delete, it doesn't do anything. If you hit backspace, it puts your cursor inside here, so then if I type something by mistake, it'll do that. It also has the little blinking cursor icon that I don't like. And so we can kind of go back and just delete the months, and there you go. Now we have a little number of days in each month sort of thing here. And this doesn't necessarily do anything, but what we can kind of do is play around and do our first formula. And we're going to do max here. And so what this is going to do is it's going to be an equal sign, the word max, which is going to return the largest number in a set of values. And we're simply going to select the entire range. So it's going to be B3 to B33 for this first column. And as you can see, it's 31 there. I apparently didn't do 28 there. And now what I can do to fill these in easily is just drag this all the way to the right. And now it tells us the maximum number of days in each month. And so what happened when I filled to the right is it's automatically selected that range for me for each one. So it knew, because I selected B3 to B33, that when I was in column C, I should be selecting C3 to C33. And similarly D, E, F, G, all the way over. Alright, I'm going to stop here because that's an awful lot, and I went through it very quick. So for now, what I kind of expect you guys to know is that this top thing's called the ribbon. This is the name bar, name box, formula bar. These are cells individually, columns when they're vertical, rows when they're horizontal. That we can merge cells by hitting merge and center. There are other ways to merge them, but we'll get into that later. We can autofill by grabbing our little fill handle here and dragging over to the right. Alternatively, we can drag down. We can fill in numbers by showing it a pattern to our numbers. And we can get the maximum in a range by using max, followed by the range that we want it to be. The way that we can, get that range is by telling it the cell that we want to start at, so B3, followed by a colon, followed by the end of the range, in this case B33. And then we can also fill formulas the same way by dragging over to the right. Okay, for now, we're going to stop here. And if you guys have any questions about anything that I just went over, please post them below, and I'll do my best to clarify. Thanks a lot.